Ahoy! It's me, Den, and today I am going to tell you about the time I got surgery. Now, as many surgeries are, it was terrifying and I would not like to have that experience again. But here's what happened. So, I was about 14, 15, maybe 13, I don't remember. It was in those years, and basically, I have issues with my knees, with my elbows, joints, all that shit. So they found something wrong with one of my knees. So they were like, oh, we're gonna fix it using surgery. I can't exactly explain it without going into a tangent about it, so we're just gonna leave it as that. Something wrong with my knee. Now, basically what happened was, it started off early in the morning. My surgery was to be had at like 12 or something. And I had to be at the hospital at like 7. So I woke up at 5. I wasn't allowed to eat or drink. So I was starving, mind you. And I had to wait until 12. My surgery was supposed to be at 8, but I actually had it at 12. Now, I remember they put me in this gown and I refused to take off my underwear because no way, Jose, am I doing that. And then I also insisted that I wear my socks while I go around because I don't want to have my feet be cold. So I remember doing that. And then I remember going to play with their Wii. They had a Wii at the hospital. So I was playing with that and, having a good time when they said, it's time. And I shot myself. Legitimately, I was so fucking scared. I have a fear of needles. A absolute, all-encompassing fear of needles. I see a needle, I can faint. I feel a needle, I will faint because I cannot keep myself awake through a blood, anything, a shot, a blood sample being taken from me, anything. I cannot handle it. And that's because when I was a child, I also didn't like needles, but I had to be held down to get shots. And now I'm very claustrophobic when it comes to that shit. I hate it. I hate it. I've become better at it with time, but I really don't have the best experiences with hospitals, to be fair. So, then, right, so where was I? Oh yes, not the best experience with hospitals. And basically, I am terrified of needles. I have to be numbed and everything. Once I was at the hospital and they were trying to take blood from me, and I shit you not, I was numbed, but I still felt it because they dug it in so deep, and my dad counted how many times they poked the needle in my arm, and he said it looked like they were trying to stitch you up. They did it at least 10 times. That's when I stopped counting, and I hate needles with a passion. So I was terrified because I knew that they would have to put anesthetic in me, right? But that means through needle. So I am wheeled into the surgery room and they place me on the table and they put these electrodes on me. And I start laughing maniacally because I am a very ticklish person. Very, very, very ticklish. So ticklish. So when they started to put these electrodes all over my chest and tummy and everything, I started giggling. And the doctor said they've never had somebody full out start laughing at their table, And I remember I felt something cold on my hand. And I'm like, oh, what's that? And they're like, oh, it's a numbing spray. And I'm like, oh, well, did the needle go in? And they're like, yep. Now you're gonna be out in about 10 seconds. So my mom was there with me, by the way. And I looked at her, and I'm like, Mom, I don't think I'm falling asleep yet. And she's like, oh, you will. And then I feel this burning. And when I say burning, I mean Satan is licking at my feet. Burning. I am burning alive. That's what I thought anyway. I was like, shit, I am going to die. Right? Case is, I wasn't going to die. It was just anesthetic. taken effect because it slowly started to travel up my legs. And I remember as I reached my torso, I screamed to my mom, Mom, it's burning, I think I'm dying. And then as soon as I said that, it reached my neck, and I don't fucking remember anything. But what I do remember is I woke up on the surgery table. I woke up on the surgery table. Yeah, that's not fun because they were still unhooking me from everything. And I remember I couldn't speak because the tube that they shoved down my throat, yeah, that thing fucking tore at everything to the point it was bleeding. And I was hoarse, right? And I remember I had blood in my mouth and everything, and I thought I was dying because last thing I remember was a burning sensation, and then the next thing I remember is I am being unhooked and unplugged from machines, and I'm awake and I have blood in my mouth and I think I'm dying. So I don't see my mother. So legitimately in my head, right this moment, I'm thinking, oh fuck, I am going to die. Which obviously is the biggest over-exaggeration in the universe, but it is what I thought. So, basically, they start piling blankets on me, wondering why the fuck am I still awake on the operation table. And they're like, no honey, you're so cold. And I look at my hands and they're blue. And I'm like, I'm not cold, I want to see my mom. Like, I'm like fucking throwing a fit. I'm like, I want to see my mom now, right? And basically, they wheeled me into the waiting room, where I was supposed to wake up. Insomnia teens, I wake up before I'm supposed to. And my mom was there, and she's seeing me throwing a fit, but I can barely lift my fucking head. Like, you know, the anesthesia is still going strong, mate. You know what I mean? So basically, I get put on the bed, and then they say, go back to sleep, honey. But me, with my insomnia having ass, was like, okay. And then I try, and then I cannot. I am still like full of anesthetic, and I cannot fall asleep for the life of me. I remember I try to close my eyes, and then I open them again, and I sleep with my mouth open when I relax. So I looked down, and on the pillow, anyway, I opened my eyes, and I looked down, and lo and behold, there's a pool of blood on my pillow. A full-on, full-out pool of blood on my pillow. Wanna know why? Because my throat was bleeding. So I look up, and instead of being like, oh shit, I am bleeding, I am thinking, oh my god, I'm so sorry about your pillow. Like, to the nurse that was there, like, I start full on bawling my eyes out saying, I'm so sorry, I know they're white, like this white pillow. I'm like, I know it's a white pillow, like I'm sorry, blood stains are so hard to get out, especially from white pillows. Like, I'm like fucking bawling my eyes out. And she's like, no, it's okay, sweetie, it's okay. And the way it ended was pretty much, I couldn't hold my head up. Here's a selfie I took of me barely being able to hold my head up. You can see some dried, crusty blood on my lips. And then I remember they made me eat, but I didn't want to eat, but I was like, I fucking want to get out of here. So I ate something really fast that was like chewy, but like soft, like a tuna sandwich, a banana, you know, stuff that I wouldn't have to bite because I couldn't feel my tongue. And I was scared I was going to bite my tongue and not realize that I bit my tongue. Ugh, gross. And I remember for the next week, I was just in my bed, sedated as fuck because I was on a shit ton of drugs trying to recover from being on anesthesia. So I remember, I think I slept the entire week. I slept the entire week. My mom woke me up to give me my painkillers and everything, and then she would sometimes give me food. And yeah, that's my story of how I once got a surgery. Now, if you guys would like to see more stories about, you know, my life, which is kind of crazy, like that one time I got stabbed, or that one time I nearly bled out to death, then just hit me up. Like, you know, tell me if you want more stories or if you want gameplay videos, whatever. Thank you so much for coming to my stream. Oh my god, I'm so used to saying that. Thank you so much for watching, lovelies. I love you all. Bye.